Okay.
Over here, by the plant.
And like,
He's gonna think the plant's talking to him. This is great.
and he like looks over and he's like, buddy, I didn't know you could talk. Why you sound like a girl?
I'm not the plant. I was hoping you'd come over though. This is Texas. I'm invisible right now.
All of Texas?
Well, not all of Texas.
Oh my god.
A person. I technically lived there for a very short time. You met me.
I don't need to know your backstory. What do you need?
Well, there's a group of people.
No. Go through the entire back.
A lot has changed in the past 12 hours.
Good God, man! You have a dangle now. I'm not going to fault you for any sort of like thing that you went through. Your body has gone through a metamorphosis overnight. Please, it's fine. You do not need to apologize. And he just kind of looks at you and puts a hand on your shoulder and just like.
You got a dangle.
Like, all right, you were somebody who lived in Texas,
Right.
and then you
It's
took
not
the name
important
Texas?
though. That part isn't important. This is the important thing.
Why would you open with that if
No.
it wasn't
Well,
important?
I was just trying to introduce myself. Okay, so
Okay.
the important thing is there was a group in here, and now there's still one of them, but the others are gone, but they're coming back, and they want to kill us?
Are they from Texas too?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. But the important thing is they want to kill at least one, if not more, of us, and or do serious harm and damage. So, do
Okay.
you guys have rules or like a safe room?
No, we kind of play
Or-
it fast and loose here.
Yeah, I've heard that. So we should just kind of hightail it on out of here?
I mean, you could fight them. That'd be kind of entertaining. No,
Well-
right?
Am I bound to some sort of thing? I feel like the most responsible thing to do is to know, like, before you put on jewelry given to you by a god.
You feel like the most
Well,
responsible thing to do when a god
I-
offers you a gift is to be like, well, what
Well,
is
no,
is there a
thank you
user
very
agreement
much.
that
I
we
just-
need to sign here?
I feel like
I mean, she's very nice, but this is no Banyan, the god of the lions. I mean, he's the king of the beasts.
And as Bubba walks out, he goes, hey, man, now I'm gonna get him turn around. Woo!
Sorry, guys, that's Big Bubba. I know how you doing.
And I'm man, from Artificer Ball to share Prince stuff all the time.
You ain't fooling? Hey, my brother Cletus would love to talk to you.
Hey, man, I'm Terrell from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're feeling pretty like people you're going in.
All right, now sounds good.
I'm just gonna Captain Code thoughts to just pull this memory out for later. Someone's gonna want to study.
Are you always invisible?
No, I just did this because I was trying to be stealthy. It's not working very well. I can see
No,
that.
because you're still talking.
I know, I have learned my lesson. I haven't learned my lesson. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to do more stupid stuff. It just kind of happens.
Sit back, dear friends, and hear the tale, when fairies flew and ships did sail. You know the stories often told, of Peter Pan, both brave and bold, of Tinker Bell, clever and smart, of evil men born black of heart, adventure and treasure buried in sand, time held its breath in Neverland. But darkness fell on the island fair, a sickness rose of no compare. Each creature and plant fell one by one, no respite found for anyone. So the island died, its people scattered, those left behind broken and battered. Years went by, no end in sight. Then through the darkness came new light. The island breathes and life returns. Within our heroes a fire burns. The drive to find those who are lost. To build a home at any cost. Join pixies, skeletons, a mermaid or two. Healers, never boys, and lost boys too. They're here each week, new stories told. So pull up a chair and never grow old.
And hi, everybody. Hey, how's it going? That was really quick, and I never could get the timing of that right. Hi, it is Friday night. It is time for a little Dungeons and Dragons here on Indigo Chameleon. Hey, kids, welcome to Neverland. We're gonna tell you an epic story tonight. We're gonna try to, as we get to revisit with some old friends of ours that have been. Okay, now you're making the chat cry because they see how emotional you are, and it's great. So we love you all so much. We've got a few announcements before we get started with tonight's game. We have a Discord. You can come and hang out there and see our epic, cool D&D stuff that we have going on, including memes and inspiration. And you can ask questions about your upcoming games and even find some homebrewed items and monsters to be used in your games. We also have a merch store. You can buy cool stuff like t-shirts, mugs, and shower curtains. Because my bathroom is now Indigo Chameleon themed. Because life is pretty great. You can find cool stuff there as well. Upcoming schedule. This coming month is chock-a-block with brand new shows and some brand new concepts for shows. I would encourage you to stay tuned and watch on Friday nights. Friday nights are our Friday fun shots, and we do some one-shots. You're gonna see some mini arcs coming up as well, as we want to get back into like 2 episodes here, 3 episodes here, guest DMs galore. But hey, more of that later. That's on Friday nights. On Tuesday nights, we have Wanderlust and Exploration of Wildmount. Join a group of individuals. This week, brother and sister are going to battle it out, and it's funny because it's Garrison's brother fighting his fictional sister, Indigo Chameleon. You're gonna.
Fighting me? I didn't know I was.
No. It's really weird. So watch as Castle Master and Indigo Chameleon duke it out in a battle of Tiefling versus Tiefling. That's on Tuesday. On Thursday, we go to the Lost Isle, where you can catch our good buddy Moswald and the Lost Isle crew, as they're going to continue in Neverland, depending on the events of tonight. In the previous episode, we learned some backstory about Captain James Hook, who is also known in Wonderland as Red Jack. And that he is the same person, and in sort of a BioShock twist, there's always a lighthouse. There's always this individual who was known as Mordred in the Lost Isle, and he's just sort of traveling the multiverse. He's managed to find his way to Neverland, we learned, because Neverland is the nexus point for the multiverse. And as such, it never grows old. The individuals there never grow old, and all of the stories sort of come forth from there. Indigo Chameleon, the action figure, the breakfast cereal merchandising. The Legend Hillary fan club has arrived, just so you know, Legend Hillary. Clerical Era is here, and the chat is here. Everybody. So the Lost Isle crew has arrived. I told the heroes tonight that every member of the Lost Isle crew has adopted one of them and granted them a special power-up and boon. You will see them in passing tonight, but it'll be more like that scene from Shaun of the Dead. You'll see them in passing and they'll wave to you. You'll have no idea who they are, but know that they are fighting the good fight. Except for when Thistle runs past herself, her other character, Texas,
Oh no.
in which case I'm going to make them have a conversation.
Wow.
You're telling me you don't want a Bo Cow conversation?
And I'm going to make Bo and Cal have a conversation while Thistle and Texas are having a conversation about bees. I don't know. So join us in for some more shenanigans on Thursday. Next Friday, we have a pretty cool one shot coming up. If you want to join us in next Friday as well, this is something I've been working on called Gothic Earth. Individuals in the late 1800s are being summoned forth to Baker Street in London, England, because there's been a string of murders from an individual that is being referred to as Jack the Ripper. So the group is going to be banding together to stop. And I couldn't put Ophelia in because she knows everything about this time period, and I need some surprises. So that's why she's giving me this look. So no for you. You're playing in another one shot. So we've got some other fun stuff coming. I think that's it for announcements. Please tune in to Icky V's amazing stream on Saturday. And to later tonight, we might actually go raid them. Have they already started to show you the Circle of Ash goodness? Anybody have anything else that they want to plug? Any podcast or stuff that they're working on? Is that a thing?
I have a podcast.
What? You have a podcast? What's your podcast about?
It's called Into the Vault. I review old, forgotten Disney movies and find out if they're any good or if they're horrible and forgotten for a reason. Tomorrow we have a new episode about the movie Blackbeard's Ghost.
Oh
it's not as interesting as the title suggests.
Okay.
So,
all right. And now, Garrison, I do have to ask, are any Disney movies actually forgotten by you? Do you remember all of them?
Actually, there have been a few that I didn't know about until this show, that being Blackbeard's Ghost. I did not know about it until it just popped up on Disney Plus. I'm like, well, I have to do it.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, please tune in and listen to some amazing episodes. I have it on. The highest praise I can give, and it doesn't sound like praise, I apologize, is this is my cleaning podcast. When I'm cleaning around the house, I'll put on episodes. In particular, the Country Bear movie is good programming. All right. I could listen to Jaden and Garrison talk about that particular movie for a long time. All right.
Do you mind if I plug my shirt?
Yes, plug your shirt, dude. Go.
So this is I don't know if you can see the logo, but it's from Arcane Wares. You can check them out on Instagram. They're a new small business that is creating amazing D&D merch.
I will back up what Hillary is saying. They've got some really cool designs, and I would highly encourage you to go check them out on Instagram and get their cool D&D. Yeah. Yes, so go support. We love to support our creators out there that are supporting the greatest game ever. Everybody in the chat, A Clerical Error, Magnoth, Icky V, Dice Barbarian, Mace, everybody. I'm going to miss a few people, but thank you, Chef Ala Death. Thank you for tuning in. Once upon a time, in Neverland, a lot happened. We have a group of heroes that are not the traditional heroes that you think of when you think of Neverland. Our cast of heroes have grown a lot together and have lost friends along the way. I want to take a second because it's hard to encompass a group of individuals and heroes that have fought together in such a short period of time. How do you explain that Cal, our gunslinger, was a skeleton for most of the time that we knew him, and then through some quick thinking and a ceremony performed by the group, is now an orc gunslinger, still protecting people, still doing things, but so I'm not going to. It's too hard for me to do. Instead, I'm going to leave that to the characters. So I need you to tell me a little bit about who you're going to be playing tonight, to break it down for the audience. And Clip, let's start with you. Ophelia, tell us a little bit about Clip.
Oh gosh. Clip is Goliath. I almost said barbarian. She's not a barbarian anymore. She was a barbarian, and then was like, I need to be more in tune with nature because she was raised by the animals of Wonderland. Not Wonderland. We're in the wrong place. Neverland. And so she went through a ritual that made her a druid. she very much hung tight to the people she was around. She very much was a person who, whatever someone wanted, she would try her best to give it to them. And then her best friend died.
And it was very hard for Clip to deal with.
Very, extremely hard. The person she hung on to the most, the person she considered her support, was gone.
Yeah.
And she was given this choice of, you can go the peaceful way with Rover sitting at her side, or you can fight with Ares at her other side. And she chose to fight. She went with Ares and basically has been, for the time that we have been away, has been training, fighting, growing more into being her own person instead of being someone who needs to help others all the time. So she still was around the group and would help when she was needed, but mostly she stayed by herself. And she adores everyone that she's with. She adores all of them, would do anything for them, but is more like, I need to be my own.
Perfect. I think that's a great summation, a Clip. Cal, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, after the events of what happened, Cal went off into and sunk deep into his piracy. His ambitions was always to get a ship and rise among the rates, be one of the seas, and I know he was on his way. He very much wanted the Black Sea title, very much. Being the fact that the Black Sea represents death, he came back from it. He's gone kind of more. He is still on the good side, but he's gone more neutral.
Okay.
He's gone more. He's kind of embraced more of the piracy, but he's not going to go out of his way to put someone in harm.
I love this, and I love this transition for him. Thistle, tell us a little bit about Thistle.
Hi, Thistle 12, Never Boy, which is way better than being a lost boy. When you live as a Never Boy for a really, really long time, I don't know, in Neverland, like hundreds of years or thousands or 10 or time kind of loses meaning. So Thistle has been doing the things that Thistle does. Thistle's having adventures. So she's not sure if it's been like 2 years of adventures or 100 years of adventures, because time gets wibbly wobbly here, but she's been having lots of adventures. She also made friends with a couple of lost boys, but she won't admit that to many people.
Okay. I think that's a good place for Thistle to be as well. Jaden, tell us a little bit about Dez. Who is Dez and what's Dez been doing?
Dez Bahai means Winter War. Dez was always kind of like the pessimistic loner bad girl of the group for a mom. And she, ever since the group kind of like has been adventuring and so on, she's kept up and kind of shied away from the tribe a little bit more. She'll, of course, occasionally like step in, but she's more so been heroing and stuff like that. And she's taken a big focus on mourning and processing the death of her daughter, which happened many, many, many thousands of years ago. But like Indigo Chameleon said, it's wibbly wobbly, so it's like still a very unprocessed wound for her. Her daughter, so the native people of Neverland walked from like the ice caps over and just like walked straight into Neverland, basically. And that's how they got there. And her daughter died back on the ice caps, and she, having been on boats and like been able to travel around, especially with Slowpoke, she's been able to kind of reconnect with the spirit of her daughter. Like, I imagine her seeing the spirit of her daughter and just running on the waves next to her. And other than that, she's kind of been nowadays better on the good side of things. A little bit more motherly, a little bit more peaceful.
Has it lightened her spirit being able to spend this time with her daughter?
Yeah.
Awesome. Slowpoke, what about you, buddy? What you been
Yeah.
doing? Who are you?
Yeah. So Slowpoke started out this adventure as like a man in his mid-30s who was not doing so great. Some would call him a loser, but he was transported back to Neverland, and through his adventuring, he's de-aged back and slowly started to regain his abilities as a Lost Boy. He was a part of one of the Lost Boy, almost like a SWAT team, specifically for monster hunting. So, with the adventuring and regaining his skills, I think in the time we've left off, Slowpoke's been kind of reteaching some of the new Lost Boys, like trying to get a new like monster hunting squad within the boys themselves, looking for the ones who were lost after the sickness, trying to bring the Lost Boy group back to its fullest, and doing the best he can with Peter Pan. Currently, I don't know.
How are the Lost Boys taking to monster hunting? Are they doing well or are they not doing well?
It depends on the Lost Boy. See, like Sticks and Stones, he's doing pretty well. There's another Lost Boy called Monster Hunter. He's doing poorly.
Oh no! What? His name is.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
That was before like Slowpoke even had the idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So another member of our group, unfortunately, through the course of adventuring, met an untimely end, trying to protect the people that she loved the most. Legend Hillary, I don't want to know what she's been doing because I know what she's been doing. Tell us a little bit about who Eris was.
So Eris in the beginning was Nell, who was a wounded pixie that was a little too in tune with her emotions at one time. And that was the price that she paid to Tinkerbell. She would spy on the pixies all the time, and as Eris, she would spy on the pixies because she wanted to fly. She wanted to, be part of them and, learn how they would help everyone on Neverland. So Tinkerbell caught her and doomed her to be a pixie and all that goes with it. Eventually, at Skull Rock, she was pushed through a portal, and the group found out that she was a tiefling sorcerer named Eris. And the spell was broken. Eris is the daughter of Loki, the god of chaos. So, living up to the daughter of chaos's name, she would make a lot of rash decisions that wouldn't make a lot of sense to others. And I think that sums up Eris and all of the insanity that she brought.
Eris has been asleep in the void after being unfortunately lost during an excursion on Hook's ship. Eris, for the first time in a long time, you awaken. You are surrounded by a inky blackness all around you. In front of you, when your eyes open and you regain consciousness, you are looking at your father, who is kneeling in front of you and panting heavily. His clothing is torn in a whole bunch of different places. He is currently a bit frantic as he like kneels in front of you as you come up to a sitting position. You feel odd. You don't quite feel like your normal self, and you start to kind of look down at your body. Before you are able to do that, he's going to place a hand gently under your chin, and he goes, "Hey, kiddo. So, meant to do this earlier, and I just got wrapped up and stuff. I need to do more cardio. Ooh, so, hey, so I brought you back. That's the good news. I'm so sorry about the whole ship thing. I would have taken care of it, but you know me, and I just got wrapped up and stuff, and how was Dead? Was death fun?"
Yeah, it was pretty And she grabs her throat.
Yeah. So you're gonna look a little different. You're gonna go through changes, and I guess we never really had this talk when you were growing up. You're gonna start to feel weird. You're gonna start to find shells in really weird places, because you're kind of a turtle now. And he's gonna take his hand back, and you're gonna look down at your body.
And she sees she is a 3-foot turtle with a grayish shelled like scaled shell with her head is red with horns that stick up. She's got she has a septum piercing now, as well as red, like from bottom down. She is this kind of pinkish, like neutral colored skin with bright swirls of red all the way up and down her arms and her legs, with claws on her arms. And oh, by the way, I keep saying her, I mean he.
There's a pretty major difference as well, which it becomes very apparent as you start to examine your body. Dad is gonna look at you and go like, "I know, big changes, right? That's on me." So kiddo, and he's gonna look behind you. He's gonna go, "Kiddo, we don't have much time. The reason I couldn't do this sooner is, well," and he's going to turn your head around. He's going to just kind of try to shift you, and you're going to turn your head and look behind you. Behind you is the largest individual that you have ever seen in your life. Giant in form, humanoid in figure, but the scale of him is too big. Scraggly, dirty bits of beard that instead of little jewels in his beard, he has what looks to be ships attached to the beard. Pouring out of his hands is what you recognize immediately, Eris, as the tired. The sickness that overcame Neverland at one point, and this group remembers it for the thing that shut everything down. The island went into a deep sleep for a long period of time, and the group, through some clever maneuvering, has shut down small pockets of it, but never anything of this scale and size.
We need to get those mask mandates in place, you know?
He looks at you, Eris, and he goes, "Eris, I'm going to send you back. I'm going to give you the night to talk with your friends. I've worked out a deal with the other side. You'll be in this form, but you're going to need to warn them that tomorrow morning all hell is breaking loose in Neverland. Okay, sweetie? I'm going to do what I can with some buddies of mine on this side of the rift, but you're going to need to close down the rifts that open in Neverland side. Okay? Because this guy is bad news." And he kind of looks up at this figure and back to you. "Baby, I know it's a lot, but I know you can handle this, okay?"
And he's just gonna hug him.
Yeah. Dad hugs you back and gives you a little knock on the back of the shell. It's a... and it goes, "Hey, we're going to make it through this, right? And even if you don't, I'll aim for a gnome for next time, okay?"
Yeah, and maybe I mean, we'll see how I like being a dude, so...
Good Lord,
So
man.
yeah.
I'm so sorry, son. You have a dangle now. And he's going to push you through. And he's going to push you backwards, and you are going to fall backwards and then wind up looking up at the night-filled sky. When a familiar face of Rovar stands over you, kind of like looking down and says, "Hey, welcome back."
I look at my hands to see if there's still turtle or if
There's...
for some reason going through the... because he recognizes me.
Yeah.
Rovar?
Yeah. Your aura's the same. The vessel is different.
Yeah, like a lot different.
Hey, nice shell though.
And he hasn't looked at it, so he would turn around and just feel it for a second.
Rovar's like, take a look at it from the inside.
Oh,
Much larger. Much larger.
Much larger. There's a little like note from Dad on the inside of the shell as you pop your head in. That's just like, go get him, Tiger. Like, you don't know how he got it in there, but it's in there. Des, Slowpoke, Thistle, Cal, and Clip, you received the sending from Rovar that, hey, we need you to come to the glade. Don't freak out. Eris is here. And they look a little different. So wherever you are in Neverland, you receive the call, hey, do what you can, make it over to the glade. And you know the glade to be the sort of central point for all the druidic figures. This is where Clip decided to become a druid and start serving Mother Earth. You all shared that sort of emotional moment where you were trying to figure out what was going on with the Mother Mimic and things of that sort. So you all receive the call, and everybody makes their way to the glade pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Clip fucking books it. Oh, that's my one. Sorry.
That's it. That's our one tonight.
Our one, sorry.
Everybody gets one. You got your, and you're everybody. So everybody makes their way over to the glade. Everybody makes their way over to the glade, and you see a few things as you make your way over to the glade. First roll of the night, kids. Let's go ahead and make perception checks as we walk into the glade, and I'll show you the things that you notice as you make your way forward.
21.
21. Slowpoke. You'll notice hidden away, tucked away in a small little corner, you'll notice Griffin the goat. The king of goats, there with a small cadre of goat friends who look like they are attending to his every need, but he gives you a small nod and makes his way back towards his little party. Cal? Des, what did you get?
15.
15. I have everybody assigned points. Oh, okay. So you actually see, Des, with a 15, you see Talk. The first guardian that you guys encountered, the Dragonborn, that offered you tea and welcomed you in. Yeah. Kind of looks like an old gator at this point, but he's got a few other guardians as well that he's in talks with, and it's almost like this small encampment. This is the who's who. Like all of your guest stars are coming back for.
Oh, it's the great and powerful Todd.
Never met Talk, so I'll just be like, who's this
Well,
guy?
you don't know his name is Talk because the group called him Todd. So you might recognize them having talked about Todd and know him as one of the Guardians. So, yeah.
16.
16. You see Daisy, flanked by her partner Pax. The Dragonborn, who is fully decked out in armor, and he's staying pretty close to Daisy at this point, at her side. But Daisy breaks away from him at one point and just runs over to the group and starts giving hugs to anybody that will take them.
20.
20?
Dirty 20.
This, you see Trinket. Do you remember Trinket?
Trinket.
The dragon who gave you guys all those little presents and stuff like that, who was hanging out pretty close with Pax, and like sort of an older woman, Mary Poppins type, who is actually a dragon in disguise. But you see Trinket off in one little corner of the area. And Clip.
Got a 22.
You see a turtle that you are somewhat drawn to, that is sitting by themselves, that keeps popping their head in and out of their shell for some reason, pulling their hands in and then popping them back out. But all of these individuals are gathered in the glade, and they look like they are preparing. They are camped out, and they are ready for things to kick off. You receive small greetings and nods from the individuals in the area. Is that everybody? Did I miss one? No? No? Okay. Yeah. You guys make your way.
Clip has retained her. Please don't touch me. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah.
Please don't touch me. Thank
Yeah.
you. Hello.
Yeah. Daisy comes up, the little kid, and she, as you say, please don't touch me. Hello. She goes, please don't touch me. Hello, at the same time, because she thinks that's how you greet. Yeah. But everybody sees the group as well from wherever parts unknown that you found yourselves.
Oh gosh. Thistle waves at the turtle and then very slowly puts her turtle shell shield behind her back.
Oh my god, I forgot you wrote that into your character. That is most definitely a turtle shell shield.
Well, we don't know that. Maybe it was just a turtle who lived a very, very long, happy life.
How did I forget about this? Okay. Yep.
Eris would know, though.
Eris would know.
So.
Clip literally just is eyes trained on the turtle, but like not walking toward them, not making any noises, just.
His head would be out and one arm. The other, everything else is inside.
Clip, insight check.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. The horns and the coloration really gives it all out.
It's a 12.
You don't recognize any of the facial features. You don't know what the hell Cal's talking about. But you would recognize that awkward wave anywhere. That one-handed up like you would. The wave is familiar.
I walk over.
I retreat into my shell immediately. I'm scared as shit.
It's fair. You're 3 foot. I'm like 7 foot. I get it.
Rovar, seeing Eris retreat into the shell, Rovar would come over towards the group, and give his traditional like big furbolg hugs. They're warm. They smell faintly of like, I don't know, earth tones, probably thieves' oil. Yeah, it doesn't go to Clip. Hey guys, how's it going? Cal, I heard you're like one of the 7 Seas now.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
Rough, fun.
Fun? Okay.
Yeah.
Des, the little ones keep asking about you, asking when you're going to come back and teach them to run up a tree.
Takes a bit of practice, but we'll get there. We will.
One of them keeps running into the tree, so I'm hoping that practice comes quick.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can just open a door with a tree or something if that keeps happening, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, probably. That might save some bruises.
Yeah.
Wait, I have that spell.
Slowpoke, how goes the monster
Yeah.
hunting? Have you guys hunted anything unusual lately?
So we found, we thought it was a monster snail. Turns out it was just an abnormally large snail. Like, not a monster. It was just an abnormally large snail.
Oh, what did you do with it?
Well, we didn't realize it wasn't an abnormally large snail
You-
until... So, we actually have a lost boy from France. And we had some... You ever had escargot?
No. Is it good?
Oh, no.
Yeah, escargot, the lost boy escargot, his cooking is amazing.
Oh, great. Oh, that's awesome. That's really good. And Thistle, how are you? I hear that the Never Boys are taking over quite a bit of Neverland as of late. Like, they're just setting up, like, boundaries everywhere?
Oh yeah, we're ruling the place. I mean, probably not. I've been really distracted. I've decided to jump down every single waterfall in Neverland, but so far I've only found 3, so I just keep going down all 3 of them. Do you know of any other waterfalls? I mean, I could probably make you a map. We should talk about this later.
Once again,
The Lost Boys Pool of 5.
there you
Throwing
go.
that out there.
Wow. A Lost Boy would say that. Lost
Yeah.
Boys don't count, or Lost Boys consider like really short waterfalls to be waterfalls because it's really scary when they get really high up in the air. It's okay. I understand. I'm looking for real waterfalls.
Waterfall's a waterfall.
The really tall ones.
Yeah. Like,
I'm glad
taller
to see
than-
some
Boys,
things never
right?
change.
While this conversation goes on about waterfalls, and which makes my heart very happy, he will look over at the turtle whose head is still in the shell.
The turtle is now right behind him
Yeah.
with just his head inside of the shell, but all like he's on like essentially on his feet, just sitting right behind him, going, "I'll talk as long as Clip doesn't hate me."
Okay, I'm gonna leave, and I was gonna try to make an excuse, but honestly, I just don't want to be here for this. So Rovar kind of like nods at the group and says, "We should talk after you all visit with one another. Something rough is happening, and we're gonna need to talk." And he will walk away and from the group and kind of give you all a moment together. And it's your first moment together in a while. Not even knowing that this is truly Eris or who they say they are. Like, it's been a while since you all have been in the same place together.
Clip would walk over again since you haven't run away. And she would drop down on her knees. Take your head out, please.
It's like Kilroy.
All the way.
Yeah, there's a turtle in there.
And
Where's yours?
She moves very slow and just puts her hands on his cheeks, and just puts her head onto his head. I missed you.
I missed you. I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. I wanted to save you.
Have
She
we
lets
met?
go. And she lets go, and she pulls the Neverheart necklace, Eris's Neverheart necklace, and hands it over. It's Eris.
You're a turtle now.
What?
Yeah. I have boy bits too. It's real weird.
Yeah, man, you get used to it. Like after the skeleton to orc thing, it's a difference. You'll get over it.
We have boy.
You didn't become a chick though, dude.
No, but I had skeleton parts, which did not include boy bits.
You had boy bits.
I do now.
Boys do not have bones.
Ooh, that's fair. But he did at one point before he became a skeleton.
Anyway.
The abject.
He didn't remember it, so that counts.
The abject horror on Thistle's face. God, I miss you guys.
Yeah.
You're a turtle now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Man, it's so hard to see other people living your dreams.
No, that's fair. I mean, I don't know. We can't really trade, but it's fine. It's fine. This is just, it is what it is right now, man.
I mean, one of your problems didn't change at all. So.
My what?
What?
Thistle, Des, Clip, Cal, and Eris. Very slowly, you see. Slowpoke doesn't see this, but Slower Poke kind of like pokes his head out and looks over at Eris, and then kind of looks down at Slowpoke, and you see a real big like like conundrum coming up. Like this turtle is like just it's going through a bit of a crisis of faith.
Oh no.
But then brings its head back in and just gives a little tap to the top of Slowpoke's head.
So what's going on?
We have to follow Rovar for that, but you walked away.
I also know what's going on.
Yeah?
So whenever I became this, Dad was there, and he showed me that the Tired is coming back. Officially. I know we've seen it on the island a few places and times, but like it's real. And tomorrow morning, it's when it's gonna hit.
So does that mean the mimics are back? Because the Tired was a defense.
I don't know.
We killed the mother mimic. They're gone.
So is this one.
Thistle walks away for a second, but which is not uncommon for her to do, as she goes and just kind of like goes after like a shiny rock. But as you all are talking, Rovar would actually make his appearance somewhat known as he yells out to the group. He goes, and you would see him gathering up the attention, and you would start to spot some of the other individuals as well that have manifested in the area. You would see a very familiar looking purple orc looking individual that has gathered in with this concord of individuals. You'd see a group of really weirded out looking human Furbolg. Like they don't look like they're from around here, but Bo is with them, so that kind of helps as well. For those of you that met Bo at the theme park, you would see the council. Yeah, you would see the council as well, all gathering together, and all of these individuals seem to be looking at Rovar, who is walking up to this small hill that overlooks the grove. And he goes, this only happens when Neverland is in time of great peril. All of you have been brought forward because you know the stakes, and we're not going to make the same mistakes that we made last time. We tried to tackle this problem individually, and we ran when we couldn't save our own group. No more are we going to do this. We are going to fight for our home. Tomorrow morning, the Tired is coming back. We have it known on several accounts, and portals will be opening up all throughout Neverland, rifts and tears just like last time. Creatures will be making their way through the rifts as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we have something very special indeed. We have a way to close the rifts. We have the Pan Sword. Who has the Pan Sword?
I gave that to Slowpoke.
Every person in the clearing turns and looks at Slowpoke.
As well as 3 charges of Fairy Fire.
Yep. The Pan Sword, we know, is the only item, once used by Peter Pan, that we know can close the rifts. All of us will be working interference for their group. And you see everybody kind of take an outward step back and look at Dez, Slowpoke, Thistle, Eris, Cal, and Clip. Their job is to close the portal. Our job is to buy them the time they need to do so. The fate of Neverland rests in their capable hands. And there is...
I have a question.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you raise your hand?
No, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the Pan Sword put together?
The Pan Sword is put together. Through a series of events that may have to be a one shot from another time. We're having to fast forward a bit. The pan sword is put together. As leader of the Lost Boys, you would have the pan sword, and you're not sure how this closes rifts, but everybody in this clearing seems pretty convinced that the pan sword is what does it. And they are relying on this group to travel Neverland and close the rifts when they open.
Yep, we got it.
There's a smattering of applause from that because it's said with that amount of confidence.
This one holds it up.
Yep, you hold up you hold up the pan sword. In the movie, if this were a movie, you'd hold it up and then immediately drop it, and then just like pick it up off the ground, and then, yep.
I wish it was an arrow because that's what I use. But
oh no.
Well, I got a sword too. And that's pretty neat.
You were meant to have it.
Rovar smiles at the group and says, we all have our missions. Slowpoke, Dez, Thistle, Eris, Cal, and Clip. We fight to save Neverland. We fight to save this place, which means so much to countless individuals that have called it home. All families, all groups are tied together by a common bond, a thread that connects us all. Through the power of this place. And that is why we need your help. And upon saying that, Rovar walks down from the hill and is immediately swarmed by individuals. People asking him questions, wanting to learn more about the situation at hand. How do they know about the portals? You see questions being bandied about and thrown at them like, how do we fight these beings that come through? What are their weaknesses? And Rovar tries his best to answer these questions, giving the group one last night camping together before the inevitable assault on Neverland. Dez, you're absolutely right. The tired was a reaction to the mimics coming through, but the only time you've seen a large collection of it were those that traveled to the shadow plane, the plane on the other side of things, where you saw the rivers of the tired running rampant. This is where you found the Harbinger, the large creature with the ships in his beard. The individuals that you've seen here tonight are all scattered about in various encampments, but all seem to be on edge and preparing. Heroes, it's been a while since you were able to play this game. It's been even longer since you were able to be in this space together. So before we fight and use these abilities and use these items, I wanted to give you a second to breathe. To ask any one of these characters, these NPCs, unanswered questions, to spend time together, to have conversations about bits, to be together in the space one more time, with all the changes that your characters have undergone. So, what I think we're gonna do is, in Indigo Chameleon, why don't you come and join me over here? Like, I don't know what's
I think I'm gonna. So sorry. I've tried. Wait, can you see me now?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys can see her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
I've tried
there she
everything.
is.
It's working, but
No, we can see you. We can see you. We can see you.
I have a backup plan now.
Yeah, we can see you. We're good.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
I don't know what's wrong.
Yep. No worries. So all of you take a second to enjoy each other's company. You are free to talk to any of the NPCs that you wanted a second to talk to, but you know that the battle kicks off tomorrow morning, and it is a battle for the very soul of Neverland itself.
I assume, being a captain, I have a couple pirates with me that's probably escorted me.
I'd say you have an entourage that's on the outskirts of camp. They were not allowed into the glade, and you didn't know what this was, but you've got 3 or 4 of them on the outskirts that are awaiting orders from you.
I'll go up to him. I'll go after Rovar is done, just before Like he's getting swarmed. He's gonna go up and he goes.
Yeah. First mate Avarium is right there with you. Formerly Captain Avarium.
Formerly.
But yep.
Make sure she's ready. We got one more. We got one more fight.
Aye, Captain. Look forward.
People will be on board. People will be on board tomorrow, and if any harm comes to them, harm will come to you.
Aye, sir.
Make it do.
Yeah. They nod, and immediately you see them run. They are making preparations. They're getting throwing away anything that would take up space on the ship that would be used for individuals that need a safe passage.
And then he'll go over and join the group.
Yeah.
Clip would oh gosh. Would there be like it's a last night situation? I'm assuming there's alcohol somewhere.
How about this? Because it's a last night situation, and Neverland is a very much populated by children. There's got to be a very small pirate adult table, which is various things of rum, but the majority of the food and snacks and things that you see, people have gone all out. The pastries, smoked meats. There's a veritable spread that is laid out for the group as a whole. As people come by, many of them aren't eating. There's a lot of people walking around with nervous stomachs that just aren't touching the food, that are spending more time checking how many arrows they have. They're checking their weapons once, twice. Their armor is out. They're applying the clasp now and just hopes to not sleep the night, but be prepared for anything that may happen. So there's plenty of food and drink, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I grab a cup for myself and another cup. And I walk over to Cal and I hand him the cup. And I go, I've actually learned to like this.
Yeah, I knew you'd come around eventually.
How's being a captain?
Everything and then some.
And you're happy?
Yeah. It's a rough life, but at the same time, I've come to like it. I've come to like, if I want something, just take it. People here are frantically waiting for things to fall. But I've learned that no matter if you stay up all night or you sleep, if you stay up all night or you have a happy night's rest, morning comes one way or another, whether you're woken up or you wake up yourself. So there's no use stressing. So, cheers.
He cheers him for one more happy night.
God, I can't believe Ryan put all that rum in that glass. That is so much rum, buddy. Like, yeah, you guys toast to one another. Like I said, the feeling is happy, but also kind of somber at the same time. Des, what are you doing during your last night with the group?
First, I want to head over to Eris real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, you're a turtle now.
Yeah, this is really overwhelming, man.
In my culture, it's common for life to recycle. I'm happy you're here.
I never thought I'd see any of y'all again. And all I can say is I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. So, you have been a pixie. You have been the daughter of a god, and now you are a turtle.
And a dude.
Yeah. And a dude.
You know, and this may be a weird thing, but I mean, trying to readjust to this. Eh, would you mind calling me Air instead of Eris? Eris doesn't fit anymore.
I was going to ask. I was coming over to ask. I figured that you might need or want a new preferred name.
Yeah, it's a
Now-
little rebranding wouldn't hurt anybody, I don't think.
All right. Air. I'm happy that you're here, Air.
I am too.
Oh my god, I was not expecting to get emotional this early in. Slowpoke, what are you doing with your time?
Who? There any other? There's no other Lost Boys here. Are there other Lost Boys here?
Yeah, you would have probably brought a little cadre of lost boys here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I bet Toodles is here, right?
Toodles is definitely here.
All right. I'm going to go up to Toodles.
God, how is Toodles doing? That's very important.
He lost his marbles, man.
Yeah. Toodles kind of gives you a little salute. And he kind of nudges out all the kids behind him, and all the kids behind do their own version of a salute. And one kid like smacks his own face, and like one kid picks his nose, and the other kids put his hands up like this. But they all kind of do the salute for the general.
Toodles, I have a pretty big favor to ask you.
Toodles compares his height to the ground.
I have an especially you-sized favor to ask you. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so I need you to do something for me. And I take Slower Poke off of my head, and I put Slower Poke on his head. No matter what happens, keep him and all the other boys safe. If you have to leave, leave. Take the opportunity.
Slower Poke tries to walk off Toodles' head towards you. And like and Toodles like puts him back up, but every time he puts him back up, like Slower Poke walks off to try to get back to Dad. But like Toodles just keeps doing that, like over and over again, like putting Slower Poke, and then eventually like just takes Slower Poke off and like holds him, and you see like Toodles like nods his head and then like looks around and makes sure that Thistle's back is turned, and as soon as he makes sure that Thistle's back is turned, he runs forward and gives you a hug. But as soon as he starts to see Thistle like turn back, he like stops hugging you and turns back to the group and like punches one on the arm. And then we'll take the boys, the boys and nod.
Yeah, and Slowpoke just says, "Both of you stay safe. Just give me something to come back to."
Toodles holds out a hand. Punches you in the nuts.
Every time.
But this time, it's the very first time when he does it that he's ever been crying through it when he does it, and turns around.
Is that is that visible? Can we all see that?
Yeah, you would see this.
Oh no.
This is
Slower Poke.
Yeah, Toodles doesn't know this, but Slowpoke let him hit him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Slowpoke.
Yeah.
Come here for a second.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll see you guys.
Just gonna leave him like that. I know it's been a while.
I know.
And us and you and the Never Boys. I know we don't have the best history together. I know even since the time we've been apart, we've had skirmishes and fights, and
yeah.
You sank 2 of my ships, and I burned 2 of your tree houses. But you know, fair is fair. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here too. That way I can sink your ship.
And burn your house down.
You're not gonna find this one.
It's in the tree, isn't it?
Oh yeah, let me guess. Your boat's a boat.
Oh, you're so smart. Leader of the Lava Boys.
This is why the Lost Boys always win.
God, this would have made a
Remember
much
your-
better Peter Pan.
Remember your karma, Cal. Remember your karma.
Thistle.
Would I?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Would I have been sitting next to Des whenever he got hit in the nuts?
Yeah, probably.
I would lean over to her and go, "Oh, I gotta worry about that now, don't I?"
Well, you have a show.
I don't know if is fine. We'll figure it out.
Scoop.
Yes, Scoop.
Thistle, what are you doing with your last night here with the group? Ooh, Thistle might be experiencing some technical difficulties. Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, Thistle.
Oh, Thistle. I think I heard Thistle.
Thistle?
Thistle. Okay.
Oh, her mouth has been moved.
Oh no.
Okay. So we'll say this.
She's probably just a social butterfly. She's probably all over the place, just saying hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Probably try and get it.
Yeah.
Chance to go over and say hi to Eris, and but yeah, she's just kind of all over the place.
Gotcha. Well, Thistle is a social butterfly. Goes over and just ask everybody, what their favorite color is, how they feel about the events taking place tomorrow and stuff like that. And it's a big to do with Thistle as she kind of goes around from room to room. All of you start to settle down as individuals, even amidst all the chaos and the ensuing battle that is tomorrow, begins to rest and prepare for what eventually is going to happen. I think Cal, based on his new character and adopting the pirate life, is the first one to fall asleep. And Cal, I'm not even going to make you roll. You just fall asleep really well. Like you're ready to go. Everybody else, mark down that long rest, your last long rest in Neverland.
Before I fall asleep, can I pray to my gods?
You can, Des.
Can I also do that?
You can, Clip. I need D20s at advantage for the two of you, please. Eris, if you'd like to say a quick prayer to Dad, you are welcome to do so as well.
Yeah, Eris would, or Air would have a rough time trying to get to sleep. So
Yeah, I think it's hard.
Are we adding religion proficiency or?
Yeah, add religion
or just-
proficiency for me.
am I taking this straight?
Give me yours at advantage as well, Eris. Anybody that's reaching out to another sort of like a godly patron, this is a we're going out of business sale. Like we're reaching out to the gods and stuff like that. Clip, what did you get with your reach out to Ares?
I got a nat 20.
No, you didn't.
Nice.
Shut up. Did you?
I did.
Oh, that's terrifying. Okay. Des, what did you get?
I got a 22.
22. And Hillary, what did you get?
I got a 19. We don't pray that much.
We don't pray to
We don't know how to
Dad.
do this. We try to learn.
Yeah.
No praise squad.
95% true.
You know.
Okay. So here's what happens. All of you begin reaching out to your subsequent deities. Des, I'm gonna get a little weird on you. Okay. Who specifically do you reach out to? Are we reaching out to the pantheon that you have?
I was thinking reaching out to the Pantheon, but I want to focus on the father who deems physical forces. Because I think of the plague as a physical force.
Okay.
I've never met him.
You've never met
I've
him.
met the father, and I've met the child.
Okay.
I've never
We haven't met the father.
Father, you find yourself in a dreamscape as you're resting, and the father does appear to you. Okay, the father looks to be an older gentleman. He could be a generic member of the tribe, honestly. Tan-skinned, hard worker, rough hands, hair pulled back into a tight bun at the top of his head. He gives you a sad smile that is a smile of just sort of resignation. And you've never really interacted much with the father energy before. The father energy gives you a vision. He is a manifestation of those things, and you're right to reach out to him in this particular time of trial. The father shows you a vision of 6 thrones. The 6 thrones are gathered around a heart carved out of ruby. In the 6 thrones, you would see prominent figures from history of Neverland. Okay?
Okay.
In the 6 thrones, you would see the throne of the child, in which Pan sits, the throne of the father, in which Hook sits, the throne of the mother, which represents family, in which Tiger Lily sits. You see the throne of the guide, in which Tinkerbell sits. It's harder to see her because she's sitting.
She's small.
She's small. You see the throne of the protector, in which the alligator sits. And there's a 6th throne which he gestures to you. On it is the symbol from your tribe that represents the ending of things.
Okay.
This particular throne is empty. And he gestures for you to sit upon it.
Am I wearing the Neverheart necklace in the dream?
You are not.
I am not. All right, I sit in the throne.
The 6th throne, the throne of the ending of things, the long death, which has remained unoccupied for long, long periods of time in Neverland, where many things never grow old and never die, is sat in by Desbahai. And that is where the vision ends.
Des, if you're a god, you legally have to tell us.
We cut back to Clip, who has reached out to Ares. Ares manifests in her form that she has grown the most comfortable with, which is that of a grizzled older woman who does not give any sort of pomp and circumstance to your visit. As you think of Ares and reach out to her, Ares will basically walk into the clearing like she owns the place, and sit down at a campfire across from you. What?
I think we're all gonna die tomorrow.
There's a good chance.
Just wanted to say thank you
For what?
for coming to me on that day.
She nods her head and she leans forward and she goes, it seems kind of trite to say that the capability to fight for our loved ones and the things that we believe in is inherent in all of us. It's some bull, like friendship was the real treasure all along. That the war was in your heart, you just had to unlock it. But Clip, that's the truth of the matter. It don't take much to push somebody to fight for the right thing. I may have guided you the steps, but every single life that you saved, every single evil that you punished, you had that ability. War is coming. Now is not the time to mourn. Now's the time to rejoice. We get to worship tomorrow. We get to bring righteous anger to those beings that seek to take away your home. And we get to end their life as swiftly or as slowly as we like.
Slowly preferred.
If we have the time. Treat it like treat it like dessert. I'm proud of you for what it's worth.
That means a lot. I don't think you're proud of many people.
I'm not.
I think after this, I'm going to disappear into the woods and just not come out.
I don't think you're going to make it past this. But I'll see that you make it to the woods.
I appreciate that.
And she nods. She goes, when your time comes, make the right choice. You've spent your life protecting people. When you're given the opportunity to continue doing that, even past life, do it.
And she looks over at everyone in the group either sleeping or in their comatose states and just nods.
Yeah. She will do something she's never done for you, and it almost freaks you out more so. She gets up, walks through the fire, not wincing at it, and will basically caress your cheek. It's a very intimate, caring touch, and you're not used to it. But as those wrinkled hands touch your cheek, there's a remaining sort of like flash on your cheek. You just feel empowered.
Thank you, but this is weird.
I know, I already hate it. And she'll just give you a little like love slap, to break the moment. And then she will go over, and you see her start talking with some of the other individuals around the camp. Yeah.
When God shows up, God does what they want.
Yeah. Eris, we don't pray that much. But you get a quick little you get a little voice in your head. It's not a physical manifestation, but you get a like, hey, how's life in the shell?
I mean, it's been what, like an hour? Not, we're getting used to it, dude.
Can I just say, as a DM, I appreciate how many times you're dropping the dude word. It's doing very good things for me.
How can I not?
Yeah, how could you not? But you get a hey. Good luck tomorrow. Okay. I'm setting you up for a win.
I wish you were here with me. I mean, we got to bond and everything, and it was probably the best thing that I could have sent myself off with before I came back. No matter what happens, if I get the win or not, I'm proud of you.
I'm cheating.
Yeah, I know. I'm proud of you that you're cheating.
Good. Green guy, shirtless. He's one of mine. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Like, can I tell if he's lying?
Give me an insight check.
Do an insight check against Loki.
That's a 10.
Okay. That's a 3 on the dice for him and a 47 total. No, he's the god of lies. You don't know, you have no idea. But you think the green guy with the shirtless, Dad has set him up to help you out. So all of you, after a night of praying and things of that sort and reaching out to deities, Thistle, did you want to reach out to anybody before?
Oh, Thistle would do her normal augury thing, which I know is only a question that affects the next 30 minutes, but...
What question?
But she also hasn't gotten a chance to yank a piece of Slowpoke's hair out for a while.
Oh.
That's how she started out augury, so there's a nostalgia factor to that. But she's going to sneak up behind him because that's the best way to do it.
You got to pull some Slowpoke.
Spit, mud, the hair. And I guess she'll say, hey, is there anything that I need to know? I mean, I know that's not how we normally do this, but, like, is there something I should know before tomorrow? I mean, like, die less? Or not at all. Not at all would also be good.
There's a priest that comes by, and you see that little girl that kind of sits there and answers all your augury, and you ask her, should I die less? And she holds her hands out. Yes.
Thanks.
And then disappears off into the woods.
And that's quickly she came into our life. She was gone.
Well, glad I get that one back tomorrow.
Whoo! All of you take a long rest. Here we go. All of you take a long rest. You enjoy each other's company and being in each other's presence for quite some time until you are awoken to the sounds of a scuffle. Right in the middle of the glade. You see that more than half of the individuals in this particular area have already left and have given you all the chance to rest. However, floating in this space is a sight similar to those that went through the tire the first time. Floating about 6 inches above the ground is a black, shadowy oval, which seems to be leaking the tired onto the ground. Trudging forth from this particular black oval, which is floating above the ground, is these odd monstrosities, shadow-like figures that creep and crawl their way out. One of them seems to turn towards the group as all of you awaken and begin to dust yourselves off and face the portal. Slowpoke, instinctively, your sword begins to hum.
So I'm grabbing that.
As you do, the guardian for this particular portal steps out. This particular figure is a humanoid-looking figure, except for the tentacles that wriggle and writhe on his face.
No.
Made of inky black shadows and a huge cannon hole right in the center of his chest. Gang from Neverland, roll initiative. Davy Jones is back for revenge.
Also, can I just say the worst part about prison is the Dementor.
Worst part about prison is the frickin' Dementors.
Are these shadow demons gonna be people we've like killed? Because that's gonna be awkward.
Would I, DM the Scribe, set you guys up to do the video game equivalent of a boss rush for your very last episode?
Absolutely, you would.
Please. That does not sound like something I would do. He gets an 18 on initiative. What's everybody else got? 20 to 25.
27.
27 for Cal.
What?
I got a +9 to initiative.
22 for Dez. 20 to 15. Slowpoke.
18.
18.
17.
Slowpoke.
You
Eris.
get 12 years of it in Azkaban.
I'm gonna put Davy right there. 15 to 10.
9.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Yeah, 9.
Thistle.
Hello.
Welcome to the party.
Hello.
It is pretty great.
Staying back to really study what's going on and think about it a lot.
Davy Jones seems to be leaking out a dark, shadowy material as it fills the ground. You recognize the tired seeping off of him. Cal, you are first up. What do you do with your turn?
He just laughs. He puts his captain hat on, so he gets like, I've taken the hat of disguise. It doesn't change him immensely anymore. He puts it on. He gets his like duster and stuff along those lines on now. And he's like, blowing you up once wasn't good enough. And he just walks up Davy Jones, not a care in the world, puts the barrel under his coat and just blasts him right in the chest.
Perfect. I like the idea of you putting it in the hole that's already in his chest and just firing upward. That makes my heart happy. Give me an attack roll, please.
The first one is a 14 plus 11, so 25.
25 hits. Roll damage.
That's a 5 plus 4, so that's 9.
9 points of damage. First gunshot goes off. I need a Constitution saving throw, Cal.
Cool. I can do that. If I can get back to my saves. Con save. 18 plus 9, 27.
You make the con save. You start to feel a little bit of that liquid that's sloshing off of him fall on your arm a little bit. And you don't like what it's doing to you, so you just immediately kind of like push through and fight through it. That's your first attack. You got a second attack? You doing anything else?
I got 2 more attacks.
Give me those attack rolls, pal. You can roll them both at the same time if you'd like.
Yep, the first one's a 16, so I don't think I'll hit.
16 does not hit.
And the second one's a 22. The third one's a 22.
22 barely hits.
All right, and that's another 9. That's another 9 points of damage.
Another 9 points of damage. Bah, bah. 2 bullets go traveling through this, sending the bits of liquid sloshing off of it. You've made your save against this particular creature, so you don't have to make it again. So Cal is right up on it.
And then bonus action. I'm going to use Tandem Tactician, so I'm going to use the help action for my next 2 people attacking Davy Jones, give them advantage on their attacks.
The next people that have to roll to attack Davy Jones, your attacks will be at advantage because Cal is helping you. He's essentially positioning Davy Jones so that he goes into whatever the attack is. Dez, your turn.
I'm gonna hit him.
I'm gonna punch him.
How I'm imagining it goes is Cal's in front of him, right? So I'm just gonna tap Cal on the shoulder and be like, "Pardon me," and just slash at his tentacles.
Okay, give me some punches.
So, that first one is a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 misses.
Ooh, okay. And then the second one is also a dirty 20 thing.
Dirty 20 misses again.
But I'm going to burn a key point.
Flurry of blows.
Are these at advantage? Are these at advantage?
You're rolling
Jaden?
these at advantage, Shaden, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I am. Will my flurry of blows also be at advantage?
I'll say yes because of the help action, but it's only for the next 2 individuals that do this. DM inspiration for Slowpoke from your brother. Your brother has granted you DM inspiration. That makes my heart happy. So Slowpoke, mark down. You got a DM inspiration, pal.
I didn't even know he was the DM. Wow.
This'll hit a 27.
27 definitely hits. He dodges out of the way of the first 2 attacks, but that third attack lands hard.
Okay, and I'm kicking him. That's what I'm doing.
God,
I just want to clarify. I think it's really funny if he would fall over, so I'm trying to get him to fall over.
Okay, so there's a special attack for that. So I'll tell you. So I'll tell you what, Des. If you want to forego this flurry of blow, like still burn the key point, I will let you try to knock this guy over. This would be
On that 27?
on that 27. This will be like a shove attack. So the attack lands. I'll do contested athletics or acrobatics from either of you. You get to pick your
Sounds
highest
good.
stat. We're going to roll one more time, but instead of doing any damage, you're just going to knock his butt to the ground.
Sounds good.
Okay?
I think that would be really funny.
Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, not bad.
All right, my acrobatics would be 24.
Yeah, that's going to beat his 19.
Ah.
You push him to the ground, and Davy Jones falls with a bit of a splat, doing probably as much. Oh, look at that. The Lost Isle crew, everybody has been given DM inspiration from the Circle of Ash stream tonight. Dez, Eris, Clip, Cal, and Thistle. Thank you, Icky V. We love you so much. And with that, Icky V got enough karma to be deified. We'll talk about that soon.
Hey!
Yeah. You do good things happen to you. Good job. Dez, he is knocked to the ground.
I want to clarify. I still did it by kicking him.
Yes.
I just sweep his legs.
You sweep the legs, Johnny.
It's important for me visually.
Yep.
Just to know that that's what happened.
Okay. He's going to do something weird. It's not his turn. He's going to reach inside of his chest cavity while he's on the ground, and he is not a fan of 1, 2, 3. He's not a fan of what Cal did to him. Cal, he's going to take a little bit of his what looks to be like a beating organ from inside of him that's kind of coated in this darkness, and he's going to take it and throw it at you almost like a water balloon. Okay?
Ooh, gross.
Cal, I need a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Okay. I can do that. Looks quickly if I have any reactions for this. Dexterity. The first one is a dirty 20. The second one is a 17.
Okay, the 17 isn't going to make it. This thing just splashes across you. It does absolutely nothing. This liquid splashes across you, and it does this kind of bioluminescent, pretty glow. Like, Cal, you're glowing a little bit. It's not good for your image, but other than that, you're fine. Slowpoke, your turn.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna shoot an arrow at him.
At him, you're gonna shoot an arrow.
Yeah.
Okay. At him or near him?
Yeah. At him.
At him. Okay. Go ahead and roll attacks then.
Okay. I'm also gonna use my Slayer's Prey on him as a bonus action.
Do it.
And I'm also gonna try Sharpshooter.
You're gonna take a -5 to this attack roll.
Yeah. How does hold on, let me do some math here. 21 sound.
21 sounds like it's exactly what you need.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, don't mind if I do. So on that one, let's see. 10, 16, 26.
26 points of damage. He still looks pretty sturdy, but he's not liking being on the ground and being shot at with arrows. Slowpoke, you doing anything else?
All right, let's try. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing. Arrows. But like no sharpshooter.
No sharpshooter this time.
Just arrows. Does like a 29 hit?
Yeah, it does. You find that one special spot that only a 29 can hit.
Let's see, 13 points.
Okay. Man, the group's...
And that's me.
Okay.
I'm also gonna say, sorry about the first hole in the chest area.
He looks at you and gurgles something, which if you could speak Squid, would translate to... Don't worry. Revenge is poetic.
I translate for him.
You translate. You do. There is a whistling sound as 3 cannonballs come flying from out of nowhere across the sky, tooling in on the homing that was thrown at Cal. So Cal, that's a nat 20 on the first one.
Oh, I'm so upset.
That's a 25 on the second.
Yeah.
And that's a 13 on the third. That's not going to hit.
Third one doesn't hit.
Oh, buddy.
Those two are gonna. Ooh.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Cal. 8, 11.
All right.
34 points of damage on the first cannonball.
Okay.
As it rocks into you. The
We're
second
beefy boy. We're good.
The second cannonball hits you, and I need 10, 12, 14 points of damage on the second cannonball. I need 2 strength saving throws, please.
Got it. Ooh, Squid Boy. The first one is a 17 plus 8, so 25.
25?
And the second one's a 13 plus 8, so 21.
Neither of your arms or your legs are broken. You managed to stay upright. The third cannonball goes wide. That's his action. He's now going to look at Slowpoke. Slowpoke, I need a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please. Oh, Slowpoke, give me a dex save at disadvantage.
Dex save, got it. At disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Cool. 12.
12. The glowing stops on you, Cal, as he reaches into his cavity, and another bit of glowing energy is thrown at Slowpoke, and Slowpoke is coated. But the glowing stops on Cal, and between this shadowy figure, Davy Jones just laughs and smiles. Eris, your turn.
Oh my god, I was muted. I was trying to throw a counterspell.
Were you counterspelling that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Hold on to the spell slot. Hold on to the spell slot. It's not a spell.
Okay.
He's marking him with a part of him. It's like a physical trait. It's not a spell.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, is there still? I don't have advantage. Is that right?
No, those were the first two. Yeah. I think those are.
Okay, then let me. I'm gonna cast Acid Splash.
Acid Splash. Do it. What's the save on Acid Splash?
Dex of 16.
Dex of 16. Okay. He gets a 22.
Got it. I will go ahead and use. Well, nope, that's it. Never mind.
Okay.
Nope, can't do anything else. Okay.
Okay. Look at those sorcery points for next time. Like burning those sorcery points and quickening spells and stuff like that. It's just been a while since we've done it.
I don't have one of those.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll for next time. That's Eris's turn. Clip. Big Guys has stood up now, but a Slowpoke is starting to glow, and you think you hear a faint whistling off in the distance.
As my action, I'm going to activate my semiotic entity.
Okay. Your spores come to life with the sounds of music.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to do my spreading spores and send them out toward Davy Jones.
Okay. You have them just swarm his person.
Yes.
Got it. They are all up on his business. At the start of his turn, he's going to have a bad day. Yep. Got it. That is Clip's turn. Before Thistle goes, those cannonballs are going to hit home. As three more cannonballs come from out of nowhere. That is a 17 to hit Slowpoke.
Yeah.
A 20 to hit Slowpoke.
Yeah.
And a 14 to hit Slowpoke?
No. Got him. He's got nothing on me.
Got him. Okay. 15 points of damage for the first cannonball.
Quick question. Are any of these, like, specialty damages, or is it just
Bludgeoning.
cannonball?
If you have a resistance to bludgeoning or anything that helps with bludgeoning. It's all cannonball damage. We're
Oh,
all
just cannonball?
we're all allergic
okay.
to cannonball damage.
Nobody wins in a headbutt.
Nobody wins in a headbutt. You take another
cannonball.
or a cannon butt. No, that's nothing.
No.
Let's workshop it. We'll come back to it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, another 13 points of bludgeoning damage on top of that, Slowpoke, as the 2 cannonballs hit.
Were they both 13?
I believe one was 14 and one was 13.
14, 13. Got it.
Okay. 27 total.
Ugh.
Okay. He's going to take another little piece out of his gut, and he is going to throw this one, 1, 2, 3, at Thistle. He's going to take this little glowy, gross part of him. Thistle, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, I failed that so badly.
Thistle starts a glowing. All right, Thiss, it's your turn. You're glowing.
I say, go away, and I banish him. He has to make a charisma save of 17.
I prepared for this. He's got a very high charisma for an undead squid captain, which cannot fix a 2 on the dice.
Is he from this plane?
He...
He's undead, but he's from here.
Okay, I will grant you this. He is not from this plane of existence. Okay? He disappears with a pop, and everybody listens to the whistling sounds.
Oh, no.
Cal, your turn. I'm going to give you a second to react, and Des a second to react. As you know, those cannonballs are training in on Thistle.
He runs over fast as he can, just kicks Thistle out of the path of the cannonball.
Okay.
Just get out of the way.
you kick Thistle off to the side of the cannonball, but you're not sure whether that's gonna help or not. Just shoving her from one direction to the other as these cannonballs come flying in.
That's the best he knows.
That's the best he knows. Des, it is now your turn. Thistle is about to get beaten with cannonballs.
How far away is Thistle?
Thistle is very close to you.
Very close to me. Would I be able to use my action to scoop her up like I did that one time, and then use my bonus action to do my fancy dash key thing?
Oh
but I
no,
can't remember
Step of the Wind. Step of the Wind.
But instead of Step of the Wind in any one direction, I'm just gonna run
in circles. This is what we're
Sonic the Hedgehog.
This is what we're trained to do when we see an alligator. Yes. Yep. Okay.
To throw up the bombing.
Yeah. I'll say this. You give me a dex save. You give me a Constitution save.
Okay, this one's going away. That was a nat 1.
That's a nat 1, Des.
Oof.
Oh, no.
12, 21.
You manage to dodge the cannonballs, and Thistle maintains concentration, but she throws up everywhere. There is just child projectile vomit, which is just covers everyone because you're running around in the same circle. It's just you're caught in an amusement park ride, and your speed is so fast that Thistle throw up. Yeah.
Sorry.
Des, you realize that once again you've saved the life of a girl not too unsimilar from your daughter, and it brings you a sense of peace. Okay. He is not here, and that portal is still open.
Use the sword. Sword, go.
Close it.
Oh, yeah. Sword.
What do you do? You just... You poke. Yes, you poke it. I just love no
Slowly.
fear. Oh yeah, it's a slow poke. Oh damn it!
I can't believe we all die.
We all take psychic damage. You do a slow poke with the sword, and sure enough, the portal itself begins to be absorbed into the sword itself. the magical power of the sword negating the effects of the energy, and this particular portal is closed. Other strange monstrosities and creatures have begun to swarm Neverland. Each of you receive a message in your head that says you need to head towards the docks as fast as you can. The next portal, it's by the docks. How are we getting there?
The cow's just making his way down.
Does he want me to put her down?
Thistle, do you want to be put down, or you want to go fast with the monk?
Let's keep going.
Okay, the Des runs. Eris, are you just running? Do you have any other mode of transportation?
Nope.
Anybody want to fly?
I gave you back your Never Hurt necklace.
Oh wait, you gave it to me?
I gave it to you.
Cal's
I gave it back to you.
Cal's just walking back to the dock, reloading his gun.
Cal is reloading. Des is running with Thistle on her back, occasionally just going, huh? What about you, Slowpoke?
It's okay.
Yeah, let's fly.
You fly? Slowpoke flies. Eris flies. Clip.
Fly.
Fly. All of you have...
In my brain, I wanted to try to pick up Cal as we go, but I realized they're not a skeleton anymore. They're an orc.
This is good imagery for me. As Des runs very fast with Thistle, Slowpoke flies, Eris flies, and Clip is just seen like trying to shove Cal along faster as Cal sighs and reloads his guns as he walks at a leisurely pace towards the docks. Sure enough,
oh god, my ship! Never mind.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's my ship. Towards the
Clip goes. The docks is where your ship is. He goes, oh wait.
Towards the docks. Once again, the group running. Cal summoning the spirit that only someone that's dealt with the docks and losing a ship can deal with.
One would say it was a paradox.
Wow. I have to go. I'm sick. My grandmother is too. You make your way over towards the docks, and there is a very large portal set up. Very large indeed. It's way bigger than the other one. This one is about like 20 feet tall, floating out on the water near the docks.
So, do you guys want to go out in the water?
Yeah.
How far is it?
This particular portal is 100 feet away.
Great. I'm gonna use Dispel Magic, 3rd level.
Okay. I like this. I love this, and I think it's completely in character for Eris. Eris takes her Dispel Magic and it aims it towards this giant portal, which is leaking the tide, which is seeming to overtake Neverland at this point. It's cruising forward, it's pushing against the waters, and you see the plant life in the area starting to recoil from it. Eris sends a Dispel Magic hurtling towards the surface of this portal, and it doesn't land on the portal. It almost like pushes through the portal. You see the portal diminish for a second, and then just sort of absorb the Dispel Magic. Eris, I need you to give me an Arcana check, please.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 with the Arcana. The Dispel Magic is a way of negating magic, and it's from the same school as this particular portal. The portal is an absence of life, an absence of energy, and the Dispel Magic is from that. I think you gain an understanding about what the magics are surrounding the portal, but the Dispel Magic doesn't do anything because this portal is anti-life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're gonna go back into the initiative order, but we're gonna do it in reverse order this time. We're using the same initiative order from before, but to give everybody a little sense of urgency and to switch things up a little bit, we're gonna just do the reverse order as what we had before. So, yes, Clip.
Clip leans down the Slowpoke and is like, "Where's our ship?"
Oh, it was at the docks.
Is it here? Is our ship here?
The ship is at the docks. Is anybody calling it?
You're its captain. Can you call the ship?
Oh, yeah, it's at the dock. I can see it. What's your... It's that one.
That more firepower might be helpful.
Yeah.
As you say, more firepower might be helpful. A dark and demonic ship leaves the portal. This ship you've encountered once before, and it took away Eris. As Hook's ship begins to leave the portal, not a being, not a person, but malevolence personified in a gigantic warship. Cannons at the ready, firing off onto the island itself. You see anywhere one of these cannonballs hits the island, a tree is disintegrated as a bit of the tire leaks out. It is firing off tired at the island, attacking it and waging siege against it. Thistle, it is now your turn. We're going reverse order. Sorry, Eris, did you have something?
Just so you know, I rolled 3 for magic surge.
3 for a magical surge? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so we're good.
Thistle.
I'm sorry. I never got to use it, and I really, really want to use it, and this is as good a time as any.
What
I
did
rubbed my
you...
magic lamp.
Okay. Okay, you rub your magic lamp.
Is that a bonus action or a full action?
Have you ever rubbed your magic lamp
No,
before?
I never got to meet whatever was inside.
Great.
I'm hoping he, she,
Great.
they can help me.
You rub the lamp, and you're like, ha, it's a bonus action to rub the lamp. You rub the lamp, and out of the lamp comes a sort of blue ethereal form, and he goes, "Welcome to Crazy Al's Gin Emporium for all your Gin Emporium needs. We got gin.
It's gin again.
We got gin. We got all sorts of gin for all your gin needs. This is Crazy Al's Gin Emporium. Oh my God, that's a ghost ship. That looks like a ghost ship. That's definitely a ghost ship.
Yeah. And, can you help us with the ghost ship?
I mean,
you just have a lot of gin, huh?
I mean, I'm good with gin. Like the alcohol gin, if you have any wishes.
Do you have ghost gin?
If you have any wishes related to gin.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I guess you can stay and watch.
Thistle got a gin.
A gin.
Any wishes any wishes related to gin?
Okay, do you have ghost gin?
I do.
All right. Do you think you could go get all the ghosts over there drunk on ghost gin?
I could certainly try.
I imagine if I was like playing a game or something, then those ghosts might be at disadvantage or something if they were all drunk.
I was so proud of my gin. Don't actually use it. Like it's a bit. Like it's a pun. It's a gin.
Come on.
All right.
You know Thistle. Come on.
He goes.
Bound to happen.
Get the ghost drunk on ghost gin. You got it. And he disappears from the space. And then all of a sudden you hear a collective woo woo from the ghost ship. As if a ghost ship could lean to one side drunkenly, that's what would happen. As your gin has granted your wish. They are slightly drunk ghosts aboard Hook's ghost ship. Clip. This ship is very far away from you at this point. What would you like to do?
I am going to cast a very spells. I have to use them. I'm gonna cast Conjure Fey.
Yeah. Okay.
I can summon a Fey creature of challenge rating 6 or lower.
Yeah.
And it comes in a beast. I'm summoning a giant crocodile.
Okay, you summon a giant crocodile. Go ahead and roll initiative for your crocodile, please.
I'm pulling it up right now because I saw a giant crocodile and went, absolutely.
This is mine. You live with me now.
Initiative for my giant crocodile is it's an 8. He'll go last.
Hey,
He's
go ahead.
here.
I'm sorry, I'm reading what Indigo Chameleon just typed in the chat right now, which is, I am happy with all of the things that just happened. Great. Eris, your turn.
I am going to cast Fireball on the ship.
Do it.
And I would also like to twin it so I can do it twice.
I think you can do it against 2 separate individuals, but I'll say the ship is big enough that I'll let you hit the bow and the stern.
Perfect. All right. So that's going to be a dex save.
Dex save at disadvantage because I don't know how, but the ship is drunk.
What do you do with drunken ghost pirates?
Give them more ghost gin. Yeah, the ship fails. The ship fails its dex saves.
Lovely. Okay.
Full damage for both of those fireballs.
That's going to be 8d6. 2, 3, 4. This is going to take me a while to add this up. So
I will let you add this up as it is the ship's turn. The ship is slightly drunk, but is still going to fire not at the group. It's going to fire at the docks.
And Cal takes personal offense.
A row of ships are destroyed, including Cal. I'm so sorry, pal.
Is there anything I can I use the convergent future on this one? I really want to save my ship.
Okay, I will let you channel your chronomancy powers granted to you by William, the son of Merlin. This cannonball goes firing out at it, and just at the last second, your ship fully submerges itself in water. You don't know how it happens, but it's the one feature. Your ship just kind of dunks itself, and the cannonball goes flying past it, and your ship comes out of the water again. Not sure how it happens. That's the first...
75 points.
75. The ship is now on fire. The other one is going to send a cannonball at the shore. I need Dez, Slowpoke, Eris, Clip, Thistle, and Cow to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, slightly better.
There you go, Big Mike. I saved the ship. Thanks, buddy.
15 dex save. 14. Anybody else?
11.
11.
I got a 14. However, I'd like to bend luck.
Okay.
Use another.
Sorcery point. Okay.
That's going to be an 18.
18 is much better. 18 is going to make
I'm
it.
going to use my DM inspiration.
Reroll again.
Yeah, so that one's going to be a 17.
17 is still going to fail, pal. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
You still use that DM inspiration. Slowpoke.
A strong 11.
A very strong 11. A sturdy 11. Dez.
25.
Yeah, that makes it, Dez. Dez hops over into Wonderland for a second. It's really weird. And then comes back to Neverland.
That was weird.
11, 13, 14, 15, 23, 27 points of necrotic damage. If you failed the save, if you made it half of 27, we'll say 13.
What was the save?
It was 17 and up. Oh, 18 and up. Sorry, 18 and up. DC 18. 27 if you failed, 13 if you didn't. Everybody still up? Okay. We're starting to look a little rough, huh, kids? Are we okay? Okay. All right. It's all right. It's all right. We got healers. Slowpoke, your turn.
Yeah. So a few things are gonna happen here. One, is it a bonus action to give something to someone?
No. Yeah, it's a bonus action. Like if you're handing a potion or an item, yeah.
Yeah, because I want to because I know Des can walk on water, so I'm gonna hand her the sword for this one.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how you would do this. Okay, that's clever. Yeah, you hand Des the sword.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna use my movement to fly forward, and is our ship is ready to rock and roll?
Your ship is always ready to rock and roll.
Right on. So as I'm flying, I'm gonna have my hand forward, so the ship, like, I'm gonna start moving the ship out of the dock and into position so I can land on it.
Okay. The monkey sea that you have not seen for quite some time. All of your elemental companions screaming out anchor, almost trying to jump off the ship to embrace. Clip watermelons flying out of Soup's butt like it's raining watermelons. And you hear
Oh, you're funny.
all of them trying to reach dad and mom and things of that sort. Atop the crow's nest, the gust of wind flying around in the breeze to try to grab Eris's attention. And standing at the bow of the ship is the newly appointed secondary captain, just in case anything does. A very small poisonous monkey, finding his confidence over the years, standing by, leaving little trails of poison in his wake as the ship goes careening forward, picking up.
I'm so proud of Momo.
Slowpoke in midair. Yeah, and heading towards the rift. That is Slowpoke's turn. You have reached the ship, Slowpoke. You use your action. You use your movement to get on board the ship. I'd say you've got something little that you could do left. You've done a lot at this point.
I mean, okay. I just wanna get the ship turned into like a firing position.
You've got it turned into position. It's waiting for your orders on the next go. Des, your turn.
I think I gotta run.
You start running. You take off at a mad sprint.
How far is the portal?
The portal itself the ship is in between you and the portal. The ship came out and it sort of turned broadside to block you from hitting the portal. The portal's 150 feet away from you on the shore. The ship is at the 100-foot mark.
Okay. I'm just gonna run. Can I run and dash?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you get your movement speed, and then you'll get double your movement speed.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna dash.
Dash, yeah. How far do you get?
110 feet.
110 feet. You're at the front of the ship. Ship's still blocking you, but you're on the water. You're close. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. That's Dez's turn. Cal.
Trying to blow up my ship,
Bro. I'm living my truth.
No, I understand. No, I understand.
My best piratey life.
I know. I'm not. Oh, I'm just irked at Hook. I'm gonna make my way to my ship.
Okay.
I can't fly, but I got.
You take off at a mad sprint. I'll say
got,
if you dash, you'll make it to your ship. How about that? I'll be kind and say.
Yeah. I got 60 foot of movement speed with a dash. So.
Yeah, perfect. You'll make it. You'll make it to your ship where your crewmen are waterlogged but ready to fight, as they all just got a bath.
They needed one. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, but if that's dashing is my action, bonus action, I assume giving orders to the ship be an action. So I'll just hang back where I am.
Okay. Sending the ship to attack.
I kind of want to do like Pirates of the Caribbean, have the Monkey Sea on one side and my ship on the other side, and have the.
What's your ship's name, Cal?
Center. It's just the second Jolly Roger.
The second Jolly. Can we call it
So it's the Jolly Rancher.
the Jolly
The
Rancher?
Jolly Rancher.
Yes.
Jolly Roger 2, cruise control.
The Jolly Rancher that faintly smells of watermelon all the time. Got it.
Nice.
Yes. Because that's the best. Got it. You start taking your ship out of port and trying to line it up with slowpokes as we cut back to the top of the initiative order, which is Thistle.
Okay, so how far away from me is the ship full of undead?
The ship full of undead, zombie, tired creatures is 100 feet away. It's 100 feet from the shore. It's a pretty big ship.
Yeah. And with the Never Hurt necklace...
You can fly pretty far, but...
I think that's 60 feet, right? Oh.
Yep.
It's 60
60
feet.
feet.
For the Never Hurt? Okay, so then this could work then. Okay, so I'm going to fly 60 feet towards that ship.
Okay.
And turn undead. Channel divinity. So anything that's level 3 or below should die, but anything
They get a save.
after a save, but this should be at disadvantage, right? Because they're drunk. Maybe not. Okay, it was worth a try. Anyway, but if they're above level 3, then they're just scared. If they fail the save, the save is a DC of 17.
Do you get more afraid of death when you're drunk, or do you just kind of not care?
Yes, you do. You absolutely do, Moswald. Stay with me on this.
Okay. I will say this. A good portion of the crew that is super drunk starts to explode. But there's...
I feel a little bit bad because I made friends with a lot of undead on
You
this
did
adventure.
make friends with a lot of undead. However, a good portion of the crew that explodes. There's still some of the crew left that manages to make their save. But you've diminished the numbers by like almost half.
Is there anything over level 3 that's just scared of me now? Because I would think that anything over 3 would be like the boss.
They're automatically scared of you? Even if they made the save?
If they made this, 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails its throw, it's turned.
The ship itself is a living being, so I will say that it is scared of you.
Ha!
God. The ship is afraid.
Ha!
That's your action. You do anything with your bonus action.
The ship is afraid.
Oh, actually, I finally can because that's not one of my spell slots.
It's not.
So I can use my bonus action to go ahead and yeah, might as that's only for 10 minutes though. I was gonna shield the faith, but yeah, I'll do it just in case.
You shield the faith.
I'll shield the faith.
Thistle laughing maniacally as only a 7-year-old girl can do.
12.
12-year-old girl, pardon me, laughs maniacally, floating in the air as a shimmering field of magic surrounds her, and a ship begins to shake a little bit in her presence. That is Thistle's turn. Clip, your turn.
I am going to start flying toward the ship.
Okay, 60 feet. You get close to a laughing maniacal Clip, or a laughing maniacal Thistle.
Which is only the greatest sound in the world. And then I'm going to cast Tidal Wave at the ship.
Cool.
Okay. What is the save on Tidal Wave?
Dex save of 16.
16. Yeah, that nat 1. It's going to fail.
It's going to take 48 bludgeoning damage.
Give me 4d8 bludgeoning damage.
That's 18 points of damage. And then it says, on a failed save, a creature takes 48 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. I don't know how I knock a ship prone, but that's up to you.
I think the ship leans over to one side, and then it's going to have disadvantage on its dex checks because we can't knock a ship. We're not going to capsize the ship with a 48 of damage. But I will say this thing takes on a lot of water. You are wrecking this ship, knowing that the ship is coming up very soon in the initiative order.
Yeah, and my crocodile is set to go eat whatever falls off of it.
It's true. You're sending the crocodile to just circle the ship and pick up any scraps?
That's terrifying.
Clip. I'm frightened, but kind of impressed. Is that your
character growth?
Is that is that your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Frightened and peeing a little. Eris, it is your turn.
So if I use my movement to fly, would
Yeah.
that get me up to the ship?
You would have 80 feet of movement. You'd get close, or 60 feet, you'd get close to where Clip and Thistle are.
Okay, would that be within 15 feet
No,
of
it
the
would
ship?
be within 40 feet of the ship.
All right, then I will change my decision, and I'm going to take my movement to fly up to it, and
Thistle's
cast
still.
acid.
Thistle's laughing maniacally, and now Clip is right next to her laughing maniacally and looking at a crocodile that's floating in the water.
So I'm gonna cast acid splash.
On the ship?
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
So that's a dex save.
At disadvantage because of the tidal wave. God, this is a great game. It's a 19 and a 12. So I'm going to guess that 12 plus it's 4. Yeah.
No, don't. So that's going to be 15 points of acid damage.
15 points of acid damage to the ship.
And just a quick question.
Yeah.
Just for my knowledge, is summoning my friend I was gifted, is that a bonus action or would that be an action?
For the time being, I'll say it's a bonus action.
Got it. Just gonna keep that in the back of my brain. Go ahead.
Oof. Oof. The ship, frightened of Thistle, will begin to use its turn to do nothing but try to turn tail in the ship and run away from her, which means it's going to start to try to turn around in a circle and try to propel itself back towards the portal a ways. So it's beginning to turn itself about to make its way back towards the portal. What I'll say is this. Turning itself around 360 degrees without the wind to help it, that is going to be its turn. Because Thistle frightened it, and at the end of its turn, I believe it gets to make another save, right? No, it's for a minute.
No, it's 1 minute, yeah.
Frickin' turn undead. Yeah, the ship is going to use its whole turn, setting you up, Slowpoke, if you want to on your turn to line up your cannons accordingly. Give me
No, it doesn't work anymore because it's for 1 minute or until it takes damage. So
it took
just
damage.
so it's no longer frightened.
Yeah, so it's going to that's going to change things. It's going to take another shot at the group, kids. Who's still left on shore? No,
I think everyone's in ships or in the
everybody's
air.
in ships, so it's going to take a shot at the 3 girls that are up in the air laughing at it.
That's fair.
Me too, maybe.
Ladies, I need a deck save from Clip, Thistle, and Eris.
Oh, that was nat 20.
That'll make it.
Because I'm a warcaster, can I, it's not really an opportunity. It's...
No.
No, never mind. It's not that close to me.
It's not that close. Clip, deck save.
7.
You're so pretty. You're like
a strong 7.
Strong 7.
18.
18. I love that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
Except that boulder's a cannonball.
11. 5.
Still learning things, you know? Boulders, cannonballs. I just don't know.
17. 19. 24 points of damage to Clip, 12 to Eris and Thistle.
Gross.
That's the first shot. The second shot, where does it want to go? Cal, Slowpoke, or Dez? Dez, it can't get a good shot on. It's gonna go after. It's gonna go after the Monkey Sea.
That ship.
Slowpoke. Do we have an armor class established for the Monkey Sea?
We did not. We never fought with it.
Probably somewhere.
No, I'm gonna
Its
say
AC is at least 38.
I have written down 38.
38 to hit.
Yeah, see, it's right here.
Ooh, yeah, I got a 39.
Wow.
So let's
But Anchor's AC is 40. He has a reaction to jumping from the cannonball.
Yeah, you know what? I think you would.
Hurt my child.
As the cannonball comes flying forward, Anchor is going to take the hit on this one. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt our poor elemental guy, but it's going to save the ship and the rest of the elementals. As Cannon goes leaping off to intercept this cannonball before it hits the ship. And a small portion of Anchor stays behind, but Anchor would take the hit to stop anybody on the ship from getting hurt because he loves Clip so much. Anchor takes the big hit. It's too good not to see as Anchor jumps in front of the cannonball. And none of the elementals aboard the deck of the ship, including the captain, our poison monkey friend, take any damage. But Anchor drops. Hook's that is Hook's ship's turn. Slowpoke.
I'm trying to decide if I want to do the normal thing or the weird thing.
The weird thing. Do the weird thing.
Always the
Do
weird thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you kidding?
Will you excuse a little improv here with what's happened in the past few months?
Sure.
Okay. So, Slowpoke's retrofitted a new arrow. It's one shot and one shot only, and it's the Yazborg potion arrow.
Okay.
Are you still there? This is only if you're okay with it. I figured we're not going to use that potion bottle again before the end of this campaign.
Is the potion affecting the ship?
Yes. Whatever effect happens will be on the ship.
Oh my god! I don't know if I still.
Oh no!
He's got it.
I don't know if I still have this.
He's got it.
You have
Right?
it?
You said you have it, right?
I have
Yeah.
it.
And if not, I've got it somewhere. I can pull it up.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
You need to immediately, when we're done, send Trevor Colt $1.
I will.
You
Okay.
realize that? I have it. I have the list right here. Do you want me to roll it, or are you gonna roll it?
You're gonna roll it.
I'm gonna roll it.
But I have to hit it first.
You give me an attack roll.
Okay. Does a 27 hit?
27 hits.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is great.
I'm so excited
Oh.
about this.
It could just be nothing might happen.
Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies.
No freaking
Is
way.
it dead? Does it die? Does it die
Does it
immediately?
die?
Oh my god.
Is it immediate death?
What did I roll?
That is a 73.
All air
73.
within a 50-foot radius of where it's hit is replaced with water. The ship sinks. It completely capsizes it with like an arrow blast. Every available spot where air was is replaced with water as the sea reaches up and a mighty yell comes forth from Yazborg and just swallows Hook's ship. No frickin' way. Trevor Colt.
I think we all owe Trevor $1 on that one.
I know.
Yeah, let's all.
He's gonna look at his phone and he's just got like a.
The ocean swallows the ship whole.
See, give us and he taketh away.
God, Trevor, I'm so angry with you, and you're not even. Oh, yeah. You know the ship immediately. I'm gonna skip ahead. The ship immediately is swallowed by the Neverland waters. Des, you walk forward, and do you give a slow poke to the portal?
Well, I imagine that I'd probably be more so flung up to the top of the portal with the amount of wave that's happening. So, can I cast fly on myself and just make it the rest of the way to stab?
You can. Des?
So, yes.
You fly up towards the portal. And as you fly up towards it, you recognize this area of water. And your heart sinks a little bit as water is rushing into where the portal is. And everything connected with the water is rushing into where the portal is. So it's there, and you're there with the sword.
The logic behind this decision is that I know that I can get back there
Yeah.
eventually. And I close the portal anyway.
Got it. Dez makes the decision to give it to close the portal using the sword. Okay, that's 2 down. You know there are 3. This third portal is in a clearing, and it's the clearing that brought all of you together. Because the last time all of you saw this clearing was in a very momentous occasion for a few of you. Eris, this is the clearing where Slowpoke was pushed away from you. Where Toodle sacrificed himself. Was the last place that you got kids through, Thistle. It was the last stand for Neverland. And it's where we find ourselves. In the same innocuous patch of grass that the majority of you woke up in almost 7 or 8 months ago. Where we got together to play Neverland and decided to set forth on an adventure together to tell a story. You travel past the great tree, past where the tribe has broken bread, past the theme park where you all spent time together, past the countless places where you camped, hung out, and spent time growing into the heroes that you now are. And find yourselves looking at the last threat to Neverland. The tired is strong here. It's causing small divots in the ground where it's carving out the very life from the ground itself. Most individuals at this point are not fighting. They fall into the ground, asleep, overcome by the tired. A few of them fight, try to get people to safety, and all of you immediately flash back to those moments right before you were overcome with the tired in the first place. The only connecting thread to everyone here is that Clip, Eris, Slowpoke, Dez, Cal, and Thistle, you didn't stop fighting. You tried to rescue as many animals as you could. You tried to get as many Lost Boys out as you could. You tried to save as much as the tribe as you could. And it all comes back to this moment. So, heroes, my cast of Neverland, there's a portal in front of you. What would you like to do?
Straight on.
Is there anything coming through the portal yet?
There is nothing coming through this particular portal.
Has it been 10 minutes?
It has not been.
Okay.
You're about to hit 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I guess we just close it the way we do the other ones. I fly towards it.
Ooh, do you want me to augury this before we close it, just in case?
No.
Okay.
I'm running out of hair.
I can pull out somebody else's hair. I'll even use my hair. I mean, I could have all along, but it was more fun to pull out your hair.
I don't have any, so.
Being a turtle just gets better and better. So I'm
Let's
just
just-
gonna head towards it.
Okay.
Let's just close this so we can go home.
Yeah. Do I get to the portal?
You walk up towards it.
I tap the sword to it.
You bring the sword up to tap against it. Is it a slow poke or is it unceremonious?
Slow poke.
Slow poke. Does a 28 hit?
Yeah.
The blackened hook that leaves this portal and hits your arm draws blood. There is a look of surprise on Slowpoke's face as the hook cuts into his arm and yanks forward. Slowpoke is drawn into the portal and disappears from view.
No.
Pan sword still in hand, pulled through the portal.
Cliff goes. No hesitation.
Clip.
Just dart at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, ZM.
Yep.
Do I know what happened to Dad? Do I know truth about Dad?
You don't.
Don't?
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
I'll put the hook back on.
Okay. Hook back on.
Yep.
Okay. We going through?
Yep.
It's portal.
Before.
Thistle's through. Dez?
Yeah, I left.
Yeah, absolutely. Eris, before you go.
Right before I go, I want to cast Crown of Stars at 7th level.
Okay. Crown of Stars. Floating above your head, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I will do Magic Surge. We're good.
Okay. You find yourself in a stone room. The sky above you is inky and black, devoid of stars. There are 6 thrones in this room. All around a giant piece of ruby that is carved into a heart at the center of the room. Standing atop this heart is what looks to be James Hook, Cal's father, overtaken by some sort of sickness and darkness that has completely enveloped him. He's standing over Slowpoke, and he's got the cruelest face you've ever seen as his teeth are just bared as this hook digs into Slowpoke's arm. Everybody roll initiative for the final time. $20 to $25.
22.
22 for Cal. Dez?
20.
Cal. Dez. Hang on. I got a roll for him. Oh, man. Cal, for the first time, you're not going first.
That's fine.
Dez, 20 to, did I say 25 to 20? 20 to 15? Clip?
15.
Okay. 15 to 10? Slowpoke?
Yeah, 15.
Eris.
6.
6. Go ahead first.
Eris, Thistle. Slowpoke, you don't take a lot of damage from this. This was
That's good.
You only take 3 points of damage.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's suspiciously low. I don't like it.
But you are currently grappled by Captain James Hook. It is Hook's turn. This man looks at the group and begins to laugh. And nods at Eris and says, it's good to see you again. All of you, really. I had the best time of my life. And I want to thank you. Thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. And he is going to attempt 3 attacks against Slowpoke. Slowpoke, 17 to hit.
Yeah. Okay. Can I use the Cloak of Bob on this one?
Can you use the what? The Cloak of Bob? Bob comes out and he's like, you know what? For this one, I'm not going to fault you. And the sword immediately cuts into Bob.
No, Bob.
Yeah. You feel a pull from the portal, Slowpoke. Like something wants you to reach out and call for it on your next turn. Something that it's been set up for you. Slowpoke, 17 to hit on the second attack.
Mm-hmm. Ben Luck.
Ben Luck.
That's 4.
13. Does the 13 hit?
No.
Okay. First hit. Hits Bob. Second attack. Looks like it's going to hit, but Eris cheats a little bit, and Dad is very proud. The third attack. Third attack is a 16 to hit.
My armor is 16.
That hits. Slowpoke. You take 15 points of damage.
Okay.
I need a con save, please.
Just so everyone knows. Slowpoke looks very hurt.
I need a con save, bud.
A con save? Oh, I'm gonna use that inspiration for that one. Well, that's not much better. 8?
Slowpoke is poisoned. Whatever sort of thing that is dipped in Hook's hook is a very strong poison. It doesn't do any damage, but Slowpoke, you start feeling a little tired. Okay?
Okay.
That is going to be Hook's turn as he just looks at the group and begins to slam into Slowpoke with the hook. Cal, it's your turn. Cal, you're muted, buddy.
Sorry. I went ahead did the 2d10 for the hook.
2d10 for the hook.
Yep. So he just casually walks up to not a care in the world. So, in order to be the head, one of the seas has to take out the captain of captains. So I guess that's where I come in. And just thinks for a moment with the hook. It goes, it's been a long time since we've done this.
I should have killed you when you were 8 years old.
You didn't have the chance, and just right with the hook.
Yep. Give me an attack roll.
That's a 22.
22. 22 hits.
And then that's 9 points of slashing for the hook.
Okay.
And then just one swift motion, bringing up the musket, even though now he can only really shoot one.
Yep.
One-handed now. And that's a 15 plus 11, so the 26.
26 hits. Wait, hang on. Let me see if that hits. Let me see if that hits. 26 hits.
26 hits. I'm gonna burn a grit point for this one.
Okay.
And this one's just gonna be a winging. I couldn't get that one. A winging shot.
Winging shot.
On a hit, a creature takes damage and must make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. Strength save. It's pretty good at this. 23.
Yeah, it passes. So he takes 9 points from the musket.
9 from the musket. Is that your turn?
And then one last swing with the hook.
Give me it.
Does a 20 hit? Unnatural 20.
Hang on. A 20 does not hit.
Okay. Then reaction I'm gonna burn the reaction just to get the one shot back in the musket.
Yep. That's your turn. That's Cal's turn. Dez. Slowpoke looks rough. It looks rough to everybody, and Cal is up in the grit of it. You've never seen him look this angry, and the hook is back on his person.
I just came up with this a second ago. So this is the same room. I recognize this room.
It is the same room.
I'm gonna use my movement to go over into the one that I previously sat in.
Bud.
And
there's no coming back from this.
I'm gonna use my wish and wish that the other thrones were filled with the people who belong here.
Okay. Are you sitting in the chair?
I'm right next to the chair.
You make the wish, and Dez, you begin to glow. Slowpoke begins to glow. Eris begins to glow. Clip begins to glow. Cal begins to glow. And Thistle begins to glow. It seems as if the individuals that were supposed to sit in these chairs are already here. The story of Peter Pan is a story that has been told. And we didn't set out to tell the same story. We set out to go somewhere new, to where there was no map. There was only 2 stars to guide us. The story changes. The characters change. The only thing that makes it as beautiful as the stories that make up the movies and the plays and the things about it are the heart that these people bring. You take a look at Cal with the overlay of the father figure, the hook clasped in his hand, perpetually at odds with the youth, Slowpoke, in the room. You take a look at the chair that's next to you, which is about the ending of things, the letting of things go, and reveling in it. You take a look at Clip, the protector, summoning forth the alligator. You take a look at Eris, and you see what Eris has been from the beginning and was always meant to be. She wasn't the pixie. She was the guide. She just happened to be a pixie as well. And the heart, the family, what you're all drawn to, you see Thistle glowing. And your wish comes true with understanding. less with manifestation. Do you sit down?
Or sit down.
The angel of death manifests in this room. Dez is no longer here. Something that has never been in Neverland sits in that chair. She is resplendent and terrifying and beautiful. The black wings that unfurl from behind her fill the room and send the shadows scurrying. The man once known as Hook turns in abject fear and horror because death has returned to Neverland. A finality to those that this death finds unworthy. And all of you, for a split second, think of the man locked in a circle atop an island not too far away with a sickle in hand. And you think, how long has that guy been there? That was your turn. Dez is out of the initiative order. Clip, your turn.
The thing I wanted to do, but now I don't know. He looks really hurt, so if she wants to, what she's gonna do is she's gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Mask your wounds. Do it.
So whoever is hurt can get some healing back.
Do it. They need it.
It's gonna be 28 points of healing.
Okay.
For anyone who is hurt.
Yep. Eris, Slowpoke, Cal, Thistle, Dez is no longer here, but those are the individuals that can take the healing.
Her eyes are definitely
on.
Like, this is terrifying.
Yep.
But Slowpoke's dying.
Yeah.
And that's more terrifying.
Slowpoke.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna need a little extra help here. So I'm reaching out for what's calling me beyond the portal.
Okay. Slowpoke reaches out for the portal, and Neverland high fives him. Neverland, the mountain goes to Muhammad as suddenly Slowpoke is encompassed, almost not too unsimilar from Michael, with the wood of the Never Tree forming armor around him. And you are faster than you've ever been in your life. You are stronger than you've ever been in your life. And you feel this bubbling up in your stomach, pal. Starts at the stomach, raises up to the top, gets to your voice, and you have to express it. You have to get out this energy that's gleeful and proud and happy and life and love and the room and Neverland and all of it, and you got to express it. Slowpoke has taken on the true and final form of Pan. The new Pan of Neverland has arisen. With that, you have 60 feet of movement speed, naturally, just running. Your armor class increases by 5. Your wisdom and your dex increase by 2, even if they're at their max. All attacks that you make are at advantage.
Great. So I'm gonna, as my first action as Peter Pan, since this hook is digging into me, I'm gonna cut off Hook's hand. The hook that is stuck inside me.
Okay. You take the sword, the Pan sword. Give me an attack roll, please.
Cool. Sweet. Does a 23 hit?
23 hits. Roll damage.
Cool. I don't have pan sword stats.
Roll d6 until I tell you to stop.
Okay. So that's 6 points.
Yep.
6 points. 6 points. Whoa, that's 60. Oh my god. 5. This is amazing. 4. 5. 5.
Stop. The hand comes off.
Man, I wish I had my giant crocodile right now.
So then I'm gonna stand up, and that'll be me.
That is his turn. Cal, when that hand comes off, there is a faint glimmer over Hook. Like there is a white light that tries to like shimmer in and out of place. Okay, I need you to see that. Hey, Clip.
Understood.
Clip. You know that you can wild shape, right?
Yeah.
Eris, your turn.
It doesn't matter anymore. So I'm going to summon Dull.
Oh my god. Yep. Okay.
She was here at the beginning.
You reach
so why
out.
would she be here at the end?
You reach out to Neverland, and Neverland high fives you as well in the form of a giant purple ogre who doesn't quite understand what's happening, but doesn't like the mean bad guy in the room. And
shoot! Dull remembers him.
Dull remembers him very well. Dull's gonna start swinging. Hillary, give me 5 d20s.
Yes! Ah!
That's a 3, a 7, a 14, a 18, and a nat 20.
Okay, the 14, 18, and nat 20 are definitely going to hit. Go ahead and give me 4d8 for each attack, 8d8 for the last one.
10, 12, so that's 20 for the first.
20 for the first.
10, 12, 13 for the second.
13 for the second.
And you said 8 for the fourth?
Yes, because you crit.
18, 26, 30.
30.
20, no, not done. 42.
40. Of course it is. Of course it is. 42 points of damage on top of the other two attacks. 62 with that Dull in one swoop does 87 points of damage against Hook. Go ahead, Eris.
Ryan's losing.
Can I also use one of my motes from my crown?
You can definitely use one of the motes from your crown.
I'm going to use advantage.
Okay.
That's going to be a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
So that is 4d12. Um, 17, 22, and 29 points.
You guys do between Dull and Eris, it's the scene in Scott Pilgrim where it's like combo, combo, combo. You do a collective 115 points of damage against Hook, and he's looking rough. And there's another flash in the room where everybody can see this sort of figure superimposed on Hook, almost like a photo. That is Eris's turn. Thistle, you're up.
This is weird, but this is such a weird magical kind of place right now, and there's something weird going on with Hook. I want to reach over, and I think it's a touch spell. This could go either way. I'm going to cast True Seeing on Hook. I want him to have true sight.
on Hook.
Yeah. It gives. Now, the only thing is, there's not a save. It gives a willing creature you touch. But it's a lot of power. So I
Give
would
me a
think that you would want it.
D20 and add your wisdom.
But it says ability to see things as they actually are.
Okay, I understand that. Give me a
Okay,
D20
all right.
and add your spellcasting ability modifier to this.
Okay. It's not great.
That's okay. That's enough. There's 2 people in the space. You go to cast True Sight. Who do you want to cast on? Like, you go to touch Hook, and there's another presence below the surface.
I'm going for Hook. I'm going for the one who's tied to Neverland. For the
Okay,
entity, the
it's
person.
not this guy. It's not the first one. Like, this is so gross, but I think Thistle would do it. Thistle puts her hand on Hook and then just goes, boom, and like punches through this outer layer, and you grab a hold of something on the other side, and you cast True Sight. Okay? You reach through this outer shell of darkness and cast True Sight on him, and then I think the side effect in this space is, Cal, you see your dad, and it ain't this dude. This dude is wearing your dad, but this ain't your dad.
Skin suit.
It's like a what was the guy from Men in Black? It's like an Edgar suit.
Now, here's what I'm gonna do. You cast True Sight, right?
Yeah.
I think it affects both of them.
Okay.
What happens when you stare into the abyss, kids?
The abyss.
It winks.
It looks at you with concern.
I think Evil Hook looks at the room and stares at each of you, which goes fine until he stares at the visage of death itself and sees death for what it truly is. So, Des, would you like to take him or leave him?
Which him?
The bad one.
Will I get to come say my goodbyes?
You're deaf.
I take him. I'll take him.
Des walks over and takes the darkness and just disappears into the ground, dragging him kicking and screaming. Cal, you get a brief second. I wish I could give you more. Of your father looking at you, both of his hands intact, grabbing your face, and just beaming with pride and nodding and taking the hook off your hand and taking it with him. Heroes of Neverland. Neverland is the nexus of the multiverse. It is the point from which all other planes and stories are held. And for a long time, it's been sick. The story hasn't been told correctly. And you feel it in your bones. These roles need to be filled. And they haven't been truly filled for a very long, long time. And it doesn't mean that you dislike each other. It doesn't mean that you will be antagonistic your whole life. You can talk and tell stories, but in order for this place to thrive, these seats, these places of honor need to be filled. 6 of them have been taken. 1 of them has been taken. 1 has been claimed. Cal, do you sit down? Turn your mic on, buddy.
Yep, sorry. I got distracted.
Yep.
He pulls the coin out of his pocket. He flips it. And before he even looks at it, he just puts it on the armrest and sits down.
In your father's chair.
Yep.
You sit down in the father's chair, where you were always meant to sit. Hey, Hillary, who do you have sit in the guide's chair?
Oh. Eris.
Eris sits in the guide's chair, leaving Dull for adventures. Eris being the guide in this particular story, and Clip. Where do you sit?
It's gonna be really silly. But I go to sit in the chair, and as I'm sitting down, I turn into the giant crocodile and kind of wrap around the throne.
Okay. Leaving one more. The heart. The family. This'll sit down.
Thistle looks at the general room
General room.
and says, "Can I have some more adventures and come back to the chair?"
What if the chair means more adventures?
It might, but also it might just be sitting in a chair.
You know what? At that sound, can I have more adventures and not sit in the chair? Oh, God. A little girl comes running into the space. Flanked by a dragonborn, and it's a mom, and it's a dad, and it's a uncommon family as Daisy, the never boy, the heart of this group several times over, comes running into the space and shoves Thistle out of the way and plops herself into the chair.
I give Daisy a high five.
You give her a high five. The roles of Neverland, the mantles held by this group. Des, you are able to come back and sit in your chair. You all look at each other. This is a true benediction. The stories that you and I have told while our time in Neverland are coming to a close. We've created something beautiful. But through it, the universe gets a little bit bigger. Because the boundaries surrounding this land and others, with all of the chairs filled, a beam of light shoots out of the red heart at the center of the room, eliminating the barriers. And as we pan upward towards the sky, we see several things that this island, this Neverland, has been off the coast of a much larger continent, the continent of wonder, which reopens again with Neverland right off the coast. Whatever fogs or boundaries holding it in place are suddenly stripped apart. A bright yellow land mass connects Wonderland now to a previously unheard of area. As we look at the map and look down, we see it's known as Oz, this bright yellow bridge connecting the two in place. Down to the side at a diagonal, another island sits, that of animal creatures walking around called Moreau. And these animal creatures have built a society there. Another island, seemingly made out of discarded machine parts and broken submarines, called the Isle of the Nautilus, comes to life, the gears whirling together, a brilliant world with Lilliput being offset to the right of this island, other islands manifesting in the space off to the left of where Wonderland and the bridge to Oz is. We see Valhalla and Mount Olympus over the Elysian fields, built a kingdom to the gods, as all of these places, once locked and held in place, are opened up for a world of stories. Dez and Slowpoke, Eris, Clip and Thistle and Cal and Daisy built something. Ophelia, Legend Hillary, Garrison, Jaden, Maz, Indigo. It's time for you to tell your own stories. Each of you are invited to DM in brand new worlds, brand new stories, brand new characters, because you are amazing players. But within you is the heart of a storyteller. And I think we let this book close while simultaneously, all sitting at the table, our dice in hand, each of us picks up a book from the pile and opens it. And that is where we are going to end tonight's adventure. Maz, Ophelia, Legend Hillary, Garrison, and Jaden. I've done preliminary writing on all of these worlds, but they're yours first. You know those mini arcs I was talking about? I trust each and every one of you. So pick one. Tell me about Lilliput. Play in Wonderland again. It's open. I'm not closing it off. Tell me a story that takes place in Neverland. What has Nemo been up to all these years, and what society has he built in the land of the Nautilus? Tell me a pirate story, Maz. You have the players. You have your setting. You have your book. It's time to start writing. Okay? Thanks for the subscriptions. We love you guys. Hey, are we ever going to stop telling stories?
Never.
We'll see you guys soon. We're going to go rate a channel. Show a little bit of TTRPG love to Icky V. Thank you so much. And we'll see you always second star to the right and straight on till morning.